Okay, this is going to be Module 1, Lesson 2 problem set. This is part 4 because I accidentally hit the stop record button. So I am on the problem set, part 1, question C. So it is 4,000, actually thousands, so they're writing it in unit form, divided by 10 equals how many thousands or hundreds? And then it says divided by 10 equals standard form. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So I have 4 thousands, so I put 4 dots in the thousand column. And this time I'm dividing. So if I was multiplying, I would draw these 10 and move them over into a group and put 1 dot here. This time I'm dividing. So this time I'm unbundling and I'm going back to the right. So instead of doing this and drawing 10 dots here, I'm just going to say this is a dot and it represents 10. Okay, because 10 100ths right there. Okay, so I'm going to do it again, divided by 10. There's a dot, and that represents 10 100ths. Go back, do it again. Big dot represents 10 100ths. Do it again, divide by 10. Whoops. Big dot, that represents 10 hundredths. So then it's asking me, well, how many hundreds is that? So these two now are equal. So in other words, 4 thousandths equals 10, 20, 30, 40 hundredths. I still haven't got an answer yet for this problem because now I'm just saying, well, that equals 40 hundredths. And then it wants me to divide again by 10. So this time I'm going to take these 10 and divide them again by 10, which means I have to go this way. So now I'm taking 10 100ths and dividing them each one by 10. So 1 dot now is going to equal 100 because 10 times 10. So 100 tens there. If I divide this one, these 10, up into groups of 10, now I've got 100 tens. Again, I do the same thing. Divide these 10 hundreds up into 10 tens. So 10 times 10 is 100. And this one. So you can see that doing it this way saves you a little bit of work because it would take you a long time to draw 1, 2, 3, 400 tens. So, in other words, 4 thousandths is the same as 40 hundredths, or it's also the same as 400 tens. So there's your answer for that question. Okay, so moving on to section 2 in this problem set. It has a chart. So this time, the first problem in the chart, it gives you the expression and then it wants you to write it in unit form and standard form. So I'm going to change my screen here a little bit. I'm going to take away my place value chart. And I'm going to draw the column. It looks like this on your paper. It wants you to do 3 columns. It has your question over here, so that's called the expression, or the number sentence is an expression or an equation, either one. It wants you to do unit form here and standard form in this column. So in other words, the first one is saying 10 times 6 tens. All right, so what's 10 times 6? 60. Unit form would be 60 tens. Okay, so if I have 60 tens, how many zeros are in 10? 1 0, so I add a 0 here. So standard form 600. 10 times 6 tens is 600. So in other words, this expression would also mean 10 times 6 tens is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so you're actually solving 10 times 60, which I told you oh, there's my bird again. Which I told you if you wanted to do it the easy way, you would do 6 times 1, which equals 6, and you have 1 0 here and 1 there, so there's 2 zeros, and that's where you get these 2 zeros from. Okay, so that was that one. The next one they want you to solve is 7 hundredths times 10. So I'm going to say 7 100ths to save space times 10. 7 hundredths times 10. All right, so unit form. How many hundreds? It's going to actually be, if I'm timesing, I'm going to move to the thousands place now. And if I move those to the thousands, I will have 7 thousands. Because if you remember in your place value chart, it goes ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So we just said we had 7 hundredths here. We're timesing that by 10, so that means we're moving the 7 to here. So now I have 7 thousandths. And 7 thousandths written in standard form is 7,000, which looks like this. Okay. The next question is asking you 3 thousandths divided by 10. All right, so 3 1,000ths divided by 10. So the divided by is telling you that on your place value chart, instead of getting bigger, now we're going to get smaller. So if I'm in the thousands and I have 3, now I need to get smaller and divide by 10, move over 1 column. So this 3 thousandths divided by 10 gives me 3 hundredths. So 3 100ths. And 3 100ths is written as 300. So now you're basically being asked to recognize by moving between columns using the times and multiply which direction are you moving is basically what they want you to tell them. So this one, the next one is 6 10 thousandths divided by 10. So the divided by is telling you that it's going to get smaller, not bigger. So if you have 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10 thousandths, you have 6 of those. And I'm dividing, so instead of getting bigger and going to the 100 thousandths, I'm getting smaller and I'm moving them over to here by dividing by 10. So I now have 6 thousandths. And if you write 6,000 in standard form, sorry, hang on. Sorry, my birdie gets loud sometimes. He likes math. So if you have 6 thousandths in standard form, it would be 6,000. And your comma, you remember you start in the ones and you count 3. 1, 2, 3, comma. And that's the only comma you have. Okay, last one in this problem. Whoops, I always hit that too many times. Last one. So I'll erase the bottom line, because they have one more question for you. Make another thing here. Their question this time is 10 times 4 thousands. So this time, you're timesing. If you're timesing, that means your answer will be bigger on the place value chart. So the next place on your place value chart, 1,000, going to the left would be 10,000. So that's where you're moving them. So 4 times 10, 4,000s times 10 is 4 10,000s. So you say 4 10,000s. If you write this in standard form, that's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40,000. So you start at the ones place, count 3, 1, 2, 3, comma. So you have 40,000 is your answer for that. Okay, and then there is a part 3 to this problem set, which is also another chart, and it's also again asking you to write each answer in standard and unit form. So this time I'm not going to make the chart, I'm just going to do one question at a time so I have enough room. The first question says 4 10s and 3 1s times 10. And they want unit form and standard form. So unit and standard form. Okay. Well, before you panic, think about your place value chart. You've got ones, tens, hundreds. You don't need to go further because you're only using ones and tens. All right, so you've got 3 1s and 4 10s. Oops, that's a dot, not a 6. So when we're timesing, we're going to get bigger. So if you're in the tens place, you need to move this way to get bigger. So you move this one over, you move this one over. These are each timesing by 10. Move this one over, move this one over. You're timesing each of those by 10. So that gives you 4, if you're going to write this in unit form, 4 100s. So, and then this, so these are gone. Gotta make a mess. And then these ones, if we times by 10, now 1 times 10 is the tens place. So this goes over here. This one goes this way. This one goes that way. So now you have 1, 2, 3 in the tens place. So that's a plus. So 4 100s plus 3 10s, which is 400 plus, this is 30. That gives you 430, which is your standard form. Okay? So let's erase that. And the next question then is unit and standard form again. And this time they're asking you 2 100s and 3 10s. And they are timesing those by 10. So timesing means you're going to get bigger again in your place value. So you've got ones, tens, hundreds, and we'll do thousands. Okay, so this is just a quick place value chart. It's quite ugly. So you're starting with 2 hundreds and 3 10s. That's it. And we're timesing, which means they're moving to the next biggest column. So the hundreds are now going to move over to the thousands. So this 1 times 10 is here. This 1 times 10 is here. And they are now gone. Then we take this one times 10, this one times 10, and this one times 10. So the tens will be hundreds now. So these are 10 times 10 times 10. So now you have 10, 1, 2, 3 hundreds. So now these are gone. So you have 2, 3, 0, 0. Start with the ones. 1, 2, 3, make a comma. So standard form gives you the answer of 2,300. Unit form would be written as 2 thousands plus 3 hundreds, which is 2,000 plus 300 gives you 2,300. So this is your unit form. This is how I came up with the standard form. Or you can do it this way over here. Okay, so next question. I'm running out of time on this video, but we only have 3 more. So this one again, we're going to write in standard and unit form. They say 7 thousands and 800s times 10. So you've got ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. We're starting with 7 thousands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 800s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to times, which means they're getting bigger, by 10. So this whole group, we're going to times the whole thing by 10 and move it over. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the 10,000s. And this one, I'm going to times by 10, the whole thing. Move it over. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. So now, to write it in standard form, you have 7, 8, 0, 0, 0. Start in your ones place, 1, 2, 3, and put a comma. So the standard form answer is 78 thousands. Unit form, you have 7 in the 10,000s. So you have 7 10,000s. And you have 8 in the thousands. So you have 8 1,000s. That is unit form. This is standard form. Okay, 2 more, and these are division this time. So this time we will be unbundling numbers instead of bundling them together. First one is 6 1,000s and 4 10s divided by 10. So this time you're using division, so your answer is going to get smaller. So on your place value chart that you can quickly draw, hopefully by now. If not, take your time and draw one. It always helps. Now I have 6 in the thousands. I'm going to do it different this time. I'm going to do 6 instead of dots. I'm putting 6. And 4 in the tens. Okay, since I'm dividing, they're going to get smaller. So the tens place is going to move over to the ones. So you're going to take this number, move it to here. Divide by 10. Getting smaller. It moves to there. Instead of 40, now it is a 4. This one would be 6,000. Thousands are going to go down to 100. So this one's going to move over here by dividing by 10. So 6,000 divided by 10 is 600. So now this is gone and this is gone. All you've got is this one and this one. So unit form would be 6 100s. And you can write out hundreds if you'd like. I'm being lazy. And this would be 4 ones. Okay, so that's unit form. Then I just put a 6. There's nothing here. And this one is a 4. So the standard form, 604 would be your answer in standard form. Okay, last question on this problem set. I'm not going to do the fourth part. It's a word problem. We're going to just do this last problem here. So you've got 4 10,000s this time and 3 tens. And you're going to divide again by 10. And you're going to write unit form and standard form. So since we're dividing, we're going to get smaller. So instead of, let's see, I can start with my 10,000s place, then it goes down to 1,000, then 100, then tens, then ones. So I'm starting with 4 10,000s, that's these. And I'm just going to write 4, that's easy, and 3 tens. Instead of drawing, 3 dots, you can just write 3. Since we're dividing by 10, they're going down 1 place value. So the 10,000s are going down to 1,000. So 40,000 divided by 10 is going to give you 4,000, okay? And then the tens are going to move down to ones. So these are 3 tens, which is 30, divided by 10. Now it's just 3 instead of 30. Okay, so standard form, these are all gone. These are all gone. So you just have a 4, nothing here, and a 3. So start at the ones place and count 3. 1, 2, 3, make a comma. So the answer in standard form, 4,003. In unit form, it would be 4 1,000s and 3 ones. And that's your answer. So that is all on this problem set and also on lesson 2.